In today's tutorial, I'm Mikey from the Crochet Crowd, and I'm going to show you how to work with the Estelle yarns, and this is called Twilight, and you can see this online for purchase possibly at marymaxim.com. We're just going to slide off the cover just like this, and you are going to see some magnificent yarn. I am really not sure if the yarn colors are really being picked up by the camera. This has a glimmer and a sparkle to it, and it's absolutely luxurious. So we're just going to leave it as like so, and we're going to be able to knit. So get about a 4.5 millimeter knitting needle today, and I'm going to show you how to knit with the Estelle yarns. This is called Twilight, and this is part of the Frill Seeker series. So let's examine this even closer. So now that I've taken it off, it's almost like a shoelace, but look at all of this luxurious. I love this stuff. This is so great. So, and the sparkle on this is just fantastic. Look at the distance that you're getting per section. Like, that's pretty significant. So I'm going to now take my knitting needle, and this is the very start of the yarn, and I'm just going to slip it through just a near edge. Okay, so you don't ever want to go into the middle, but just stay near the edge. So I tell people in live shows, if you like living on the edge, you'll love this product. So now let's grab another part of the edge coming up, okay, about 2 inches away, and slip on. This is casting on. Okay, so staying near the edge again, and pulling it through. And I want about 6 stitches going across, just like that. And you will notice that I either went in this tutorial that you could go like this, or you could go it from the other side. It's up to you. You're the creator. You decide what's easiest for you. So now there should be 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And now we're good to go. So let's start our first row of this Estelle Yarns Twilight. So to begin, all I'm going to just do is slip in my needle as if it was regular yarn into the loop that you've achieved through the first one. So, and all I'm going to just do is that I want to keep this and make sure it's safe flat. So this is the bottom edge here, so I want to make sure that stays out, and I always want to work with the one side. So basically the side that you started on when you first cast it on is always going to be attached to the knitting needles as you work. So we're just going to go about 2 inches away near the edge, okay, just like so, and pull down and knit. Okay, and next, again, this bottom edge is staying out of the project, so we just want to work on the top edge. And you will find that you will, again, like any of the other ribbon yarns or ruffle yarns that we're covering today, is that you're going to find your rhythm, you're going to find your speed, and then once you find it, bam, off to the races. I find a scarf in these particular ones will take you about between 2.5 to 3.5 hours to make, depending on your speed and your comfort level and etc. So I'm just knitting as normal. Wow, I love the colors. I've actually seen samples of this yarn in stores, and I just finally picked up one, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to try it and just see how the colors really work out. I never saw this color scheme, so I figured I'd pick it up just to, you know, for my own curiosity, just like that. Okay, so we're now done this line all together. So this is the trick right here. This twisting here is coming from the yarn ball, and so basically every time you reset, you want to make sure that you don't want to keep turning this, so it's going to end up like a shoelace. So basically every time you reset, I always reset like this, but sometimes you got to go the other way in order for it to unravel as well. So you have to determine when you're working with this stuff which way is the best way to keep turning, so that you don't end up with all of your yarn coming from the yarn ball into one big twisted section, just like so. It's just easier to open if it's already open and not twisted. So to start another row, we're just going to slip in behind and the next stitch, and again, just I always kind of find when I'm holding these off camera is just basically what you just see me do. I kind of like just hold it together using my hands and just open it and pull. The wonderful thing about this is ruffle yarn, so you know you really can't go wrong on where exactly you're putting it into the project. The more of a distance that you go, the more of the ruffle that you will have. But if you go too far, then it's just way too much, and if you go too less, then it's just going to stay too flat and you'll lose your effect. So it's one of those ideas that you're going to find your rhythm when you're working with this project. I find 2 inches is suffice when going the distance. This is very much like other Ruffle yarns that you will see in the market by other people that are doing the same kind of idea as well. So let's now cast off and pretend we did this thing. One ball's one scarf. Again, no big deal, easy peasy. And we're just going to knit the first one as normal. Take it off. The next one. Like that. We're going to knit as normal. So now you have 2 on your knitting needle. So all we're just going to do now is just slip your knitting needle into the first loop and just pull it over the second. Okay, come back to this side. Okay, knit. Get the first loop up and over. That. This side. That. So we're just going to keep doing that all the way across. It's like casting off any other kind of knitting that you would do. And just want to be a little bit gentle with this. Make sure you do get all your loops going up and over. I find with this project, with this kind of yarn, so here's the downfall. I find with this kind of yarn, if you drop a stitch, good luck, honey. Grab your bottle of Valium, because you might need it. So it's one of those, you just want to take your time, especially in the casting off process. I've seen people do these scarves and then drop a stitch during the casting off. Oh my god. It ain't pretty. So let me just get the final one. And honey, I have dropped it too, so that's why I'm laughing. I'm laughing with them because we know how upsetting it can be. So I'm just going to take my finger and I'm just going to do the last one over. So you can always use your fingers too. So we end up with a little bit of a thing over there. So this is supposed to be the end, so let's snip it and pretend it is the end. Oh, I hate to waste this gorgeous yarn. So we're just going to slip it through, and we're just going to kind of just grab a crochet hook or something and just pull it through just like that and tie this into a knot just like that. Pull it. Okay, and if you want to do one more for extra security, it's up to you. I'd probably recommend it, but for brevity or for quickness, I'm just going to leave it as normal. And so what's going to happen, there's your knot in the bottom, but this is the top of your project over here. And what's going to happen is it's going to bury itself anyway into your project, so you don't need to worry about it at the end. Until next time, I'm Mikey from the Crochet Crowd.